I sense suffering here, Spirit. Do you need help?
Hello, this is ImproJoe, or at ImproJoe on Twitter, with FourscarsGaming.com, coming at you with a review for Kena Bridge of Spirits by Ember Labs. So let's just get right into it. Kena Bridge of Spirits is not The Legend of Zelda, but it definitely draws from it. It also draws from Pikmin, Uncharted, and many other great platforming adventure series out there. But the best thing about Kena Bridge of Spirits is that it truly does have its own identity behind the masks of the great games behind it. So let's rummage through the great forest and dive right in. Story. This review is relatively spoiler-free due to blowing an entire story in an adventure-driven game kind of makes it pointless for players to play it afterwards. The gist of things is Kena is a young spirit guide who sees dead people and helps them move from their worldly lives into their afterlives, using her cute little fluffy friends called the Rot to give her unique abilities and cleanse the world of a calamity. A corruption. Kena runs into trouble, though, as she encounters spirits who can't seem to move on due to traumatizing life events, and the infection spreads amongst locations in the forest. One story centers on a disease spreading amongst a village. Ember Labs couldn't be more timely. But if you want to avoid the COVID-19 talk and just stick to a video game review, that's fine too. The story is good and gives players something to sink into while enjoying the gameplay. There's a great amount of catharsis felt for the characters in the game, and playing as a spirit guide really makes players want to do just that, help the misguided foes rather than aimlessly seek them out and destroy. Gameplay. Kena borrows many gameplay elements from great adventures of the past. Combat is a faster form of Zelda games with swift movements of her staff and a heavy blow as well. Other abilities come into play here, but primarily swordplay is the key. There's also another unlockable bow and arrow weapon that makes use of the adaptive triggers of the PlayStation 5 as well. There's a dodge roll and a parry play mechanic, not unlike a Souls title, to master and time as well during combat. Exploration is simple, traversal with a double jump movement and a climbable terrain marked with rugged gray rock ledges. Climbing feels really good and not unlike a Tomb Raider or Uncharted title. Scaling rocks and trees and exploring the lush lands is rewarding as treasure can be found to customize the Rot and give them cute hats, or find more points to spend and unlock new abilities for Kena to take advantage of in her adventure. While looking spiffy in their little hats is super important, it isn't the Rot's only function in Kena Bridge of Spirits. They are the key to cleaning areas by grouping up and using their magic to return the dead environment into a thriving, living landscape. As you collect Rot, more abilities are unlocked and areas begin to open up. They're also just really fun to sit, cuddle, and dance with. Oh yes, you can pet the Rot. Finally, masks are keys to unlocking other areas in Kena Bridge of Spirits. Masks in Kena are locked to spirits of the deceased. Again, without giving away major plot points, it's pretty clear early on in the game that Kena will need masks on her journey. The masks unlock new areas and have different gameplay effects, like the ability to locate Rot easier, revealing important objects, and opening spirit barriers. Boss fights generously give players a health bar to keep track of. I'm not usually a fan of games that I cannot see my progress within. Fights are always tough but fair. I played on the normal difficulty level. There's a hard mode and then an extra hard mode unlocked after beating the game. The only glaring gameplay issue I encountered was not being able to rewatch the beautiful cutscenes from gameplay during a playthrough. A studio option would be nice here so players can review the story while moving through a first playthrough. I often forgot character names and such and would have liked to have gone back and view these. Presentation. This is a gorgeous title. It runs smoothly and really takes advantage of 4K resolution on the PlayStation 5. Ember Labs is basically the Pixar of video games now. I found myself constantly dropping my jaw at the Rot animations. The fact that they constantly follow Kena in hordes shows that there was a great attention to detail given to this game. Occasionally, some textures would blend, and Kena's feet sometimes ended up being buried in uneven terrain, but this never marred the experience. For a $50-ish Canadian price tag, players are getting much more than they bargained for this title. The game takes anywhere from 12 to 16 hours to complete. I found myself really taking my time to explore the world, and it pays off with all of the discoveries. Overall, Kena Bridge of Spirits is a superb entry into the adventure game genre. Collecting the rot, exploring areas, unlocking abilities, and combat are all smooth experiences. Ember Lab's first adventure certainly won't be their last one. It's clear that they have cemented their place in the greats of game developers out there. You surely do not want to miss out on finding all of the rot. Thank you for listening to the review, watching the clips, and tune in for more reviews coming soon on fourscarsgaming.com. Make sure you give me a follow at ImproJoe on Twitter, and make sure you give John Scar a follow as well, the head honcho of this blog. He's at fourscarsgaming on Twitter. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your gaming experience. Bye-bye.
Let's go.